All right, so today is December 8th, and we're gonna be leaving Brussels. It's 9:06 in the morning right now, and we're going towards small principality in Europe, Luxembourg. But before stopping in Luxembourg, we're gonna stop in the small town of Dinan, which is a Walloon city and municipality located on the river Meuse in the Belgian province of Namur. So Dinan is situated 20 kilometers north of the border with France, and so on the about the story of the city. So the in the 16th 17th centuries, wars between France and Spain, Dinan suffered destruction, famine, and epidemics despite its neutrality. And the city suffered devastation again at the beginning of the First World War. On the 15th of August 1914, French and German troops fought for the town in the Battle of Dinan. Among the wounded was Lieutenant Charles de Gaulle, and that's why there is a statue of Charles de Gaulle of that city. And so the city itself, very distinguished people known that were born in the city, including David of Dinan, philosopher of the 12th century, Antoine Joseph Wirtz, painter of 19th century, and Adolphe Sax, inventor of the saxophone 19th century, and Alex Miskirchian, boxer. Sounds like Armenian heritage, but born there. So the Dinan railway station is on the left bank of the river. This is hourly train service to Brussels, about 90 minutes ride. So we're gonna stop in one of the cafe famous for Coupe de Dinan. Coupe de Dinan, it's Europe's hardest biscuit with the honey sweetened flavors that is impressed with the carved wooden mold before baking. And pastry here is absolutely incredible, absolutely delicious. I ever tried, and I end up eating 3 of them. So right now we walking around. It's a rainy day, but it's still beautiful. All right, we're walking like Santa Claus, covered. We are on the way to Luxembourg, the small principality, and meanwhile we just decided to stop in one of the town in Belgium on the way to Luxembourg. So here we go. So I want you to enjoy with me a little bit of this beautiful town of Dinan. Absolutely incredible and just so fascinating. Belgium is just marvelous country with so much history. So here's the Café Jacob. We're gonna stop here for delicious pastry, and I want to give you a tour of what they have, and it's just incredible. When you're there in Dinan, stop at the Jacob and try their pastries. They're absolutely delicious. I end up having 3 after all. So here, this incredible display of this fabulousness. This is my retreat. This is another one. And here on display, besides of those type of pastries, then you're gonna see right now Coupe de Dinan, which is right on the second display shelf. Right here, it's the hardest Europe's hardest biscuit. As I mentioned, with the honey sweetened flavor that is impressed with the carved wooden mold before baking. All right, let's just walk around Dinan before hopping into the bus and continuing to Luxembourg. So now we are on the bus and we're leaving Dinan and we're moving towards Luxembourg. So Luxembourg It's officially the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. It's a landlocked country in Western Europe. Here we are. We are in Luxembourg right now. It's bordered by the Belgium to the west and north, Germany to the east, and France to the south. Its capital, that's where we are right now, Luxembourg City, is one of the fourth official capitals of the European Union, together with Brussels, Frankfurt, and Strasbourg, and the seat of the European Court of Justice, the highest judicial authority in the European Union. Its culture, people, and languages are highly intertwined with their neighbors, making it essentially a mixture of French and German cultures, as evident by the nation's three official languages: French, German, and the national language of Luxembourgish. The repeated invasions by Germany during World War II resulted in the country's strong will for mediation between France and Germany, and among other things led to the foundation of the European Union. In 2019, Luxembourg had a population of 614,000 people. So we arrived right during this weekend of the Christmas market. There's a lot of people on the street with it buying food and just listening to music. And apparently, I didn't know there is a big Portuguese community in Luxembourg, and it's going to be evident when you're going to be hearing performance of one of the Portuguese performer who was going to be singing the song in this Christmas market. So Luxembourg is very tiny, beautiful city, but main things, as far as I was told, mainly known by its banks. I guess some money laundering from the officials, like Swiss banks. Well, I don't know for sure, but anyways. Foreigners account for nearly half of Luxembourg population. As a representative democracy with constitutional monarch, it is headed by Grand Duke Henry and is the world's only remaining sovereign Grand Duchy. Luxembourg is a developed country, and the city of Luxembourg, with its old quarters and fortifications, was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994 due to the exceptional preservation of the vast fortifications and the old city. And when I was little, and while I was growing up, I always had this desire to visit these small, tiny countries in Europe, more small principalities: Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, San Marino, etc. So finally, this dream came true. Luxembourg officially happened. The others is to come. So Luxembourg is a founding member of the European Union, OECD, United Nations, NATO, and Benelux. The city of Luxembourg, which is the country's capital and largest city, is the seat of several institutions and agencies of the European Union. And Luxembourg, it's very clean country, and it's absolutely amazing with this beautiful architecture. When you can see it here, just walking around, it's like being also like what experienced in Belgium. You're stepping back in time, on the old time, and experiencing this history around you, and it's absolutely just incredible. And so as far as a bit of the history of Luxembourg, Luxembourg, after belonging to both the France of Louis XIV and the Austria of Maria Theresa, Luxembourg became part of the First French Republic and Empire under Napoleon. And Luxembourg has a beautiful, magnificent old town. So this is considered kind of lower town, and there is the upper town. So this is incredible view of Luxembourg from the top when you're leaving upper town going down to the lower town. The view is just breathtaking, and it's just, even if it was raining, but it's still absolutely incredible just to look at it. And I was just so happy that I made this pilgrimage to the city really I wanted to visit for so long. Luxembourg. So, as I mentioned, Luxembourg is one of the smallest countries in Europe and ranked 167th in size of all the 194 independent countries of the world. Economy of Luxembourg. Luxembourg's stable and high income market economy features moderate growth, and they were dominant by steel until the 1960s, has since diversified to include chemicals, rubber, and other products. That's the part of the economy driven Luxembourg. Um, and moreover, the Luxembourg government has aimed to attract internet startups, with Skype and Amazon being two of the many internet companies that have shifted their regional headquarters to Luxembourg. In April 2009, concern about Luxembourg banking secrecy laws, as well as its reputation as a tax haven, led to its being added to a grey list of nations with questionable banking arrangement by the G20. So that's one what thing I've find out. And so in March 2010, apparently the Sunday Telegraph newspaper reported that most of the Kim Jong il's North Korean supreme leader, $4 billion in secret accounts were located in Luxembourg banks. So Luxembourg has especially close trade and financial ties to Belgium and the Netherlands. And so we are right now in the Christmas market, and we're gonna enjoy right now a performance by the Portuguese singer from Portugal, who gonna perform this song right now. Luxembourg is a member of the Benelux Union. So Benelux, it's a politico-economic union and formal international intergovernmental cooperation of three neighboring states in Western Europe: Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. And the name Benelux comes with the official joining the first two or three letters of each country's name: Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Benelux. And was it first used to name the customs agreement that initiated the union, signed in 1944. Since 1944, when a customs union was introduced, cooperation among the governments of Belgium, the Netherlands, and the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg has been a firmly established practice. So basically, the union of Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg abolished the borders in 1940, between 44 47, between those three countries. So basically, Benelux was the birthplace of European Union at that time, before borders of European Union were completely abolished and the Schengen zone was established. So we are inside of the church, and we're gonna just to observe a little bit silence here, and I'm gonna light the candle. I'm gonna leave it candle there. We'll do some prayers, and we're gonna continue the last tour of this beautiful country of Luxembourg. So the present-day state of Luxembourg first emerged at the Congress of Vienna in 1815. The Grand Duchy, with its powerful fortress, became an independent state under the personal possession of William I of the Netherlands, with a Prussian garrison to guard the city against another invasion from France. In 1839, following the turmoil of the Belgian Revolution, the purely French-speaking part of Luxembourg was ceded to Belgium, and the Luxembourgish-speaking part became what is the present state of Luxembourg. As of 2018, Luxembourg citizens had a visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to 186 countries and territories, ranking the Luxembourgish passport fifth in the world, tied with Austria, the Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Duchy of Luxembourg. In the 14th and early 15th centuries, three members of the House of Luxembourg reigned as the Holy Roman Emperors. In 1437, the House of Luxembourg suffered a succession crisis precipitated by the lack of a male heir to assume the throne, which led to the territories being sold by Duchess Elizabeth to Philip the Good of Burgundy. In the following centuries, Luxembourg's fortress was steadily enlarged and strengthened by its successive occupants, the Bourbons, Habsburg, Hohenzollerns, and the French. So the present Grand Duke of Luxembourg is Henry Albert Gabriel Felix Marie Guillaume, and he was born in 16 of April 1955, is the Grand Duke of Luxembourg, reigning since 7th of October 2000. He is the eldest son of Grand Duke Jean and Princess Josephine Charlotte of Belgium, and a first cousin of Philip, King of the Belgians. In 2019, his net worth was estimated around $4 billion. Actually, it's the same amount of money that the Supreme North Korean dictator deposited in the Bank of Luxembourg. Interesting. So Prince Henry was born on 16th of April 1955 at the Besdorf Castle in Luxembourg as the second child and first son of Prince Jean, hereditary Grand Duke of Luxembourg, and his wife, Princess Josephine Charlotte of Belgium. Henry has four siblings, and Duchess Marie Astrid of Austria, Prince Jean of Luxembourg, Princess Margareta of Liechtenstein, and Prince Guillaume of Luxembourg. So this is the last evening right now in the city of Luxembourg. Enjoy.